All right, Garen, we spoke about the World 15 having a few head-to-head matches with the Springboks. 5 South African players on that team. What did you see from those players?
No, I was really impressed, like you said, we talked last week about this head-to-heads by the hooker Craig Burden and the scrum off Rory Cockett. I'd love to see Heineke May include them, or at least give them a chance to join the squad, see how things go, try them in practice, and just see, even if they're not starting Springbok players, at least on the bench. It'd be fantastic to see them, because I have this fear that Rory Cockett's going to be lost to South African rugby. He's going to end up playing for France. So before he gets too old, before he perhaps even makes a decision, I'd love Heineke to include him. And then Wynand Olivier was at centre. He wasn't too bad. I didn't see anything really too flash from him.
Yeah.
But we did mention the second row of Alistair Hargreaves and John Recreer really showing some impressive firepower. They were instrumental in the first try scored by Hargreaves. So they can hold their heads high for sure. So it was great to see some South Africans taking on some other South Africans.
Rob, what did you think of the 5 South Africans?
There's always that little bit of extra niggle when it happens. The trouble is it's difficult to really on a one-match basis, I think, to judge too many of those sort of expat South Africans, Garen, because they obviously play in a completely different environment. And for an occasion like this, getting back to Newlands, getting back to play in South Africa in front of a biggish crowd. It wasn't huge, but big enough. And so inevitably they were going to be really fired up for it, especially early on. Someone like Jean-Andre Kruger had a good game, but then, weighed up against that is the fact that on previous occasions for the Boks, he sometimes just lacked that little bit of extra oomph in terms of the clean-outs and in terms of doing the sort of the donkey work. He's always been a good line-out forward, and we saw a bit of evidence of that again. So I'm not sure if he especially has sort of, reawakened his credentials. We'll have to wait and see. I think there are plenty of good locks around, and Eben Etzebeth will soon be back in the mix for South Africa too. So although I'm not dissing his chances, I wouldn't say that he's an automatic sort of, he's sort of bubbling under that closely again. Burden, yes, as Garen said, put up quite a fiery performance, even managed to get in the face of Bakkies Botha, his Toulon teammate. So they went from friends to enemies in the space of sort of 72 hours or something ridiculous. I presume that a few beer glasses got clinked afterwards, and there were no hard feelings. But yeah, it was an interesting enough exercise. I thought Wynand Olivier didn't do too badly at inside centre, although I don't think he's any more in the reckoning for the Boks these days. We've got plenty of young centres, waiting to come into the mix. And Jean de Jong, Jan Serfontein, obviously still very close to Boks selection. So I don't think someone like Olivier will come in. But I think it was a worthwhile exercise.